What up, though? Ravens, Bills, A-Rod, Micah, week 1 of the NFL. That and more on the Wait a Minute show. Let's go.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Ooh. What is up? What is up? What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your man, Jelani JB Bodie. You know what it is. It's the Wait a Minute show here. And I'm not going to draw it out. I'm not going to drag it out. I'm not going to tease it and everything. I told you. Mo is back in the building. He's back, ladies and gentlemen. Look at him. Look at him. He's feeling all good. And hey, got a little South Carolina hat on and all that stuff because they won. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. Michigan
I ain't allowed to feel good.
Well, yeah.
I ain't allowed. Hey, a big week for my teams. Come on, JB. I understand why you ain't feeling why you feeling not so great, but that's all right. That's all right. You get plenty of time to talk about it.
I'm gonna be all right. I'm gonna be all right. All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna be all right.
I ain't too sure about that. We'll talk about it later, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna be all right.
We'll talk about it later.
We got a lot to talk about, man. Folks, you already know. We would love for you to like, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Follow your boys and everything. Place comments, because it's probably going to get ignorant today with some of the stuff that, we're going to be talking about. But basically, we're talking about all about week 1 of the NFL because so much has transpired, Mo. And I think probably the most logical and best place to start, because for those who don't know, we're talking about Monday Night Football has not happened as of yet. So Bears, Vikings, we'll get to that at some other point. But Baltimore and Buffalo, I think that's where we need to start. Do you disagree?
Let's go. You want to get into it?
Yeah. So
okay,
here's the thing. Did Buffalo win this, or did Baltimore lose this? I'm going to give some percentages here. I'm going to say 80% Baltimore gave this away. 20% Buffalo won this. Now, when I say the 20%, I'm not being disrespectful when I say that, but I'm just saying Buffalo did what they were supposed to do. They made Baltimore pay for the mistakes that, they made. Obviously, it wasn't that many, but the reason I just say, that 80-20 is because a few things, Mo, is that you give up 22 points in the fourth quarter. 22 points in the fourth quarter. You've had a problem in King Henry where they could not do anything to stop him. Zay Flowers was balling. Lamar was balling. And for whatever reason, in the fourth quarter, they fall apart. They find a way to let this game get outside. And props to Josh Allen, because they gave him a smidget of a little room, and he squeezed his way in there, and he opened that thing up and said, "I'm here." And he made him pay. He beat him by I shouldn't say he beat him by himself, but the one person that the Baltimore Ravens needed to stop with this defense that they have is not like they got guys, that's just in the league or anything. You got people who are all pros. You got Pro Bowlers on that defensive side. And Josh Allen made them seem like they was a JV team, bro. So that's where I'm at with it, Mo. I know you got something to say. You probably gonna disagree with.
Yeah, I'm gonna disagree with you. I'm gonna disagree with you, and I really can't believe I gotta disagree with you on this one. The question was what? Did
Baltimore lose this? Did Baltimore lose this, or Buffalo won this?
Buffalo won. You know why Buffalo won? Because Buffalo always win this matchup. They always win. Matter of fact,
you're right about that.
Baltimore never win the games in their conference against these elite teams. They just don't do that. They don't do it. It's not who they are.
Making a good point.
It's not what they do. It's not what they do, because at the end of the day, top to bottom, Baltimore has a solid squad, right? They have a great team. They have, on paper, a Super Bowl team, correct? Right?
Yes, I agree.
I think, matter of fact, I go so far as to say Baltimore has more of a Super Bowl caliber team than Buffalo does on paper. On paper,
yeah.
Baltimore can't win those games. They just don't. Baltimore's going to beat up on Miami. They're going to beat up on the Jets. They're going to beat up on all these other teams. They'll beat up on some of these Cleveland Brown type teams, but they cannot beat the teams they should beat or need to beat for Lamar Jackson to make that next step. It is what it is. He'll go down as a Hall of Famer. That won't change.
You make a good point. I just think, and no one will come out and say this. I do think Baltimore on the defensive side. I think they felt they had that game won. People were leaving.
Minutes left in the fourth quarter. They put up 16 points. They put up 16 points in what? 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
Baltimore can't win these games, man.
Fans had already left Buffalo. They were leaving a la the Miami Heat and San Antonio Spurs. Like they left because they thought it was over. And I just think Baltimore thought it was over too. And that's why I'm saying they left that little leeway for Josh Allen and him being a reigning MVP. And we've seen him do this before. He made them pay. He made them pay. And did you catch the game?
I did what everybody else did. I went to sleep in the third quarter. I did. And I'm mad at myself for that because I know better. I really do. I know better because listen, these are, first of all, let me go on record and say this because you're gonna have to give me the green light to say some things that are gonna be outrageous today. Okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna start now. I don't like Josh Allen. And that's outrageous to say because I have no legitimate reason not to like Josh Allen.
You don't.
I just don't
He's
like
done
Josh
nothing
Allen.
to you.
I don't like. Today I'm going to be the sports fan that I hate. Right?
Oh my gosh.
Because these are the types of games that just make you buy into conspiracy theories. Right?
Okay.
And I know it's bogus. Right? But today, like I said, we're going to be outrageous, man. I don't like Josh Allen. But I went to bed last night knowing that I'm going to wake up and have to go to work and congratulate this little kid that worked with me, who's the biggest Baltimore Ravens fan you ever going to meet. I didn't get to do that for two reasons. Number one, the Ravens lost. Number two, he didn't show up. So it kind of is what it is. But it's, listen, I just, you can't sit down and go through the X's and O's and just really explain why the game played out the way that it did. It was just, it was one of those games.
Props to Keon. Is Keon Coleman? I hope I'm saying his name right. On that last drive where they were driving to kick the winning field goal, bro, I ain't never seen nobody in football cross somebody up like it was basketball.
Yeah. Okay.
He had him touch the turf, bro. He crossed them up on the football field. I was like, oh my God, that was bananas. But speaking of bananas, I want to get into this real quick and we won't spend too much time on it. If you haven't saw it, I'll tell you the Buffalo Bill fan who can't keep his hands to himself. Did you see that? Okay, so let me just tell you that real quick. On that touchdown that D Hop caught the one-hander.
Right.
You know how players, they all kind of, all your teammates come, they push you up against that wall right there, which is the front row, right? So everybody walking back towards the sideline, to their sideline, and they're walking by the fan, and you see this fan take his hand and basically kind of mush D Hop's helmet, right? D Hop was just in the moment, he ain't pay no attention to it, whatever. Lamar's walking by. He pushes Lamar helmet too. And so Lamar give him the double stuff and push him back in his seat, right?
Yeah.
Like, yo, you need to chill out. So everybody was talking about that. And I just wanted to highlight it, really quick because I think everybody wants to hear what Lamar has to say, his thought process. And Lamar came out and said, hey, I can't do that. I gotta, be better, think about it and all that stuff. And I get that. But my thing is that fan put his hands on Lamar first.
Right.
There needs to be something where we are holding these fans accountable as much as we are wanting to hold the players accountable. Lamar was just walking by. minding his own business. He didn't say anything to the fan or anything like that. The fan is probably just upset that, D-Hop just caught a one-hander, and they was at that point, they were like, this game is probably getting out of control, and there has to be severe consequences and repercussions for those type of actions, because there were other people was talking about it, and luckily the fan caught the right one. Lamar wasn't going to just do anything crazy, but it is some guys, they would have dragged you into the field of play.
Most guys.
And yeah. So it's like, you are there to spectate. You are not there to participate. There's a difference.
Right.
Sit in the stands. Why? Because the other thing that a lot of people didn't talk about, when Derrick Henry went on that run to the house, I don't think a lot of people saw someone threw a water bottle at him when he was running into the end zone.
Yeah.
So it's just things like that. Like, it's a punk move. It's, it's a coward move, to do things like that. And it just really I wish it was something in place to really, really, deter that type of, behavior, because we're seeing people doing stupid stuff at WNBA games and everywhere else and all that stuff. And it's just like, it got to stop, man. It's not funny. It's not cool. It's not, you bought a ticket. You bought a ticket to watch. That's it. Watch. So
yeah, it's that's a conversation that, I mean, you have to run a whole podcast about that, but it's got to be something done to protect the players, and I don't know what that may look like. It's just too much access, and we had this conversation over a decade ago about the Malice in the Palace. Yeah. Once the smoke cleared and we really got down to the bottom of what was going on, but yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, stupid. Is it over for the Chiefs, man?
No. Nah. It's not over for the Chiefs.
Let me rephrase that. Let me rephrase that, because, when we did our division talk, we gave them a lot of praise. Do they got a problem in their own division?
As of right now, yeah, of course they do.
Yes. So I'm with you on that. I do think that Harbaugh is starting to be Harbaugh. I mean, we've seen him do this everywhere he's been, at Stanford, at your 49ers, at Michigan. And it's just, a matter of time of him turning around, a team. And that game, I mean, I give props, to the Chargers, man. Like, Quentin Johnson, people are clowning Quentin Johnson. I don't know what's going to happen for the rest of the season, but that squad they got, and this kid in the running back Hampton, that they got, they may have something going on. So yeah, I'm with you on that. It's not over, but I don't think Kansas City is going to just be able to run through their division like they have in past 7-8 years, because it was just like you pretty much inked them in for at least 5 wins in that division, if not 6. So
I think it's more about the Chargers than the Chiefs. I think nobody really knew. I mean, of course, professionals, coaches, they're gonna do their scouting, but give the Chargers credit for rebooting. Give Harbaugh credit for just coming back and just really starting to put his culture on that team. I think it's more about them than it is the Chiefs. The Chiefs are going to be the Chiefs as long as Pat Mahomes is there. It's going to always be a chance. And I mean, I do feel like there need to be some changes made eventually, but keep that nucleus and you good. I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, and it's 1 week. I'm not going to go crazy. And speaking of 1 week, Michael Parsons made it a horrible week for my Detroit Lions.
Yes, he did.
Along with the Green Bay Packers. So I want to give them credit, because it wasn't just Micah out there. They did an excellent job stopping the run. They did an excellent job of making things frustrating, for Jared Goff and the receiving core. And Jordan Love didn't play like the Jordan Love of old, where he had a couple ones where we saw the old Jordan Love where he got lucky with some interceptions that should have went the other way. But he wasn't making those same mistakes that he was before. So with Micah there, Is this a leverage change, or is it still just it's week one? It's week one.
Nah, this is real. This is real. It's real because the Lions clearly do not look like the Lions of last year. We can't expect them to. Change has been made with coaches and, you know, maybe some defensive players here and there. But the Packers are for real. And I think hopefully we get a healthy Jordan Love throughout the season. And Micah Parsons seems to be fitting in right away. That's a problem for y'all. It just is. I think it's a problem. I think it's a real problem. But
it's a problem.
It's week one. Don't
it's
panic.
Week one.
Don't be a prisoner of the moment.
Exactly. There you go.
This is an ugly loss.
It was.
You got to acknowledge that. This ain't Baltimore losing by a point in the fourth quarter. This was an ugly loss.
It was. Hey, we didn't give up 41 points though.
Oh, yes, you're gonna hang your hat on. Okay.
Yeah, I sure am.
Hey, listen, so, help you sleep at night.
I am gonna get because you I think me and you talked about this. I don't know if it was on the podcast or off the podcast, but you know, I did equate this Micah move to similarities. I'm not gonna say it's equivalent, but similarities to when they got Reggie White. And you just talked about it. You were talking about Harbaugh and putting, you know, his culture, you know, on a football team.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think what Micah, you know, brings to, I think it brought a belief to the Green Bay Packers. I think the Packers knew they were good, but when they got Micah, I think it was like, oh yeah, it's on now, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it is going to be a problem for Detroit, but it's one game. Detroit got, you know, some talent there as well, and it's a long season. But Micah being there, I want to say also, again, I wouldn't be surprised if Dallas loses again. They play the Giants. I wouldn't be surprised if they lose again. And we're looking at this, you know, with Detroit and all this stuff, but it's more about Dallas and just like, that wasn't a smart move, but
yeah. I mean, that Dallas may be your pathway to the playoffs if you ain't careful. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, that's a conversation for later on in the season. But you know, let's start to see how this thing play out.
I like how you said smart move. Is it a smart move that the Giants let Daniel Jones go because this dude went and lit Miami up? Now, people are saying, yo, it's Miami. I don't care because last year it was like, it's Daniel Jones. He can't beat anybody. And they probably would have said he can't beat Miami. Did he go up there and get a little bit of the QB whisper and figure that thing out, bro?
Okay. Going back to my outlandish comments for the day.
There you go. Get outlandish. Real outlandish, son.
There's a major controversy going on. It's some kind of scandal. I don't know what it is. I don't know the word I'm looking for. Nobody in the country, fans, analysts, experts, nobody saw this performance from Daniel Jones 2 days ago. Nobody saw it.
Nobody,
we were just sitting here talking about Anthony Richardson, Daniel Jones, who's going to get the job. They both suck. They both trash. He looked like one of the best quarterbacks in the league yesterday.
Again, it's 1 week, but
it's 1 week. Yeah. But we talking about a game. We talking about the one game in the NFL. The one thing we get to do that most sports don't get to do is discuss one game because every game is so important.
Yes, you're right.
This one game, come on, man. What you saw from Daniel Jones, you ain't see that coming. You did not see it coming. Now, most of us probably had predicted him being QB1, right? The debate is over. The conversation is over. I mean, do you see him really regressing like enough to really have that conversation again, or was that performance strong enough to say, okay, you know what, this is our start of this year. We're gonna ride out with him. We're gonna see what we can get from him throughout the year.
I think that first performance, and don't take this word literal when I say it, I think it bought him time. And what I mean by that,
that's fair.
What I mean by that is that you've seen what he is capable of.
Right.
And it's more of, can you get Daniel Jones to consistently play like that?
Yeah, that's fair. That's more than fair.
And we've seen this before. Not maybe, I'm not comparing apples to apples, but I'm going to say Baker Mayfield. Cleveland gave up on Baker Mayfield. Carolina gave up on Baker Mayfield.
Yep.
Out, and all of a sudden things change.
And I'm gonna tell you what else we've seen.
Things change.
I'm gonna tell you what else we've seen. Outlandish comments. Not so outlandish comment. Tua is trash.
Who?
Tua is trash.
Man, Tua is trash.
Let me say it again. Tua is trash. At the end of the day, it's obvious, it's clear he is not a starting NFL quarterback. I won't go so far as to say he don't deserve to be in the league, but he's not a starting quarterback. He's not. He's not. What we've seen from him from the past few performances, he's one of the worst players in the league, right?
Wow, you are outlandish today.
He's Spencer Rattler bad right now.
Hey man, now what did Spencer Rattler? Why he got to catch it straight? He didn't do anything.
Listen, I just got to be fair. I got to be fair.
You are.
He didn't do anything. But if you go through the league and you go through each team and you look at their quarterback situations, you got the NFL quarterbacks, and then you got Spencer Rattler, Bryce Young, and Tua Tagovailoa.
So, yeah, you what was it? You being outrageous today? Yeah, you outrageous.
He was that bad yesterday.
You wildin', son.
You know, I've seen him that bad before. You disagree?
Okay.
You disagree? Go on record and say you disagree.
No, I'm saying I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying why Rattler got to catch the stray, bro.
Why Rattler got to be that bad?
And he played for your school.
He did, and we appreciated him. You know, I'm glad he made it to the league. I mean, you know, God is good.
That man just trying to go to work. Yeah, you are outrageous today, bro.
Hey, listen, the man lucky he got a job right now.
What you
he got a job right. I do not know what he majored in, but I hope that degree is framed and listen, it is what it is, man. Tua was bad yesterday, Jelani. You saw the game, you watched it, and I mean, come on, it's nothing positive you can take away from that performance. Am I right or am I wrong?
It's not too much you can. Yeah, it's not too much you can say.
Nothing to build on.
All right.
Okay.
All right. And it's funny because Tua, I'm going to apologize again for Tua here in just a moment. Let's finish this week one stuff up. Last thing was A-Rod, man. So A-Rod in Pittsburgh played the New York Jets, got his, revenge. Petty. But I love it because he said he wanted everybody in the Jets. He wanted to give it to him. I'm paraphrasing what he's saying, but he did not mince his words. How some guys, man, it's just nah. He was like, yeah. I wanted to get them boys, and I wanted to give it to him. Yeah. Let them know I still got it. So I'm not gonna knock it. I will that. I'm still sticking by. I don't know if that team. I don't think that team's going to be able to beat like a Buffalo or something like that. But it was a good start for A-Rod. Over there. I will say that.
I'll say two things. I think Jalen Ramsey and Garrett Wilson. That matchup is why we are sports fans, bro.
Yes.
Was that not the most fun thing you saw yesterday watching football, man?
Fun and hilarious because Garrett Wilson was trying to strong arm Jalen. It was like, it's not working.
Oh, my goodness.
Garrett, stick to, run the routes and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. You got that. But that strong stuff, like, no, that's not the lane right there.
He took the bait. Man, I wish they were mic'd up just to hear the back and forth because you know what was happening. You know what was happening.
And I loved it. Even at the end of the game, they dapped each other up and all that stuff because it was just like, it's just competition. So just good competition.
I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I still feel like this is a very, very, very important year for Mike Tomlin. You got to win these kind of games. You got to. You got to win these kind of games to sustain that record. I don't know how important that is to him, but you got to win these kind of games to stay off the hot seat. Because if
He's
you're not going to
good,
give
man.
us, if you, no, I mean, come on, I'm listen,
He's good. He's good.
listen.
He's good.
At some point, is what have you done for me lately? You got to get to the playoffs and you got to run at some point.
If you are not the Pittsburgh Steelers head coach, I would agree with you. But being that he is, and these jokers done had 3 coaches in the past, 90,000 years? I'm just telling you, bro.
The percentages of him going out on his terms is what?
95%.
Really?
Yeah.
You believe that?
Yeah.
Okay. When did Ben retire?
Oh, whoa. It's been at least 5 years, 6, maybe.
Yeah, longer than that. No longer than that.
Okay.
All right.
And he's still there. As one couple from A Living Color said, one wise couple, we still together. So
Okay.
they he
65%.
ain't going nowhere. He
65%.
ain't going nowhere, bro.
65%. He got to win a playoff game this year. He has to win one this year. I don't see that happening.
And you do that, and he will be coaching another team the following year.
Listen, I'm not saying he won't be in the league. What I'm saying is, at some point, Pittsburgh is Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh won't. They in the championship business, right?
You're right.
It hasn't happened in a while.
You're right.
They're in the business of winning. This ain't the Cleveland Browns. This ain't the Oakland Raiders, man.
And
This ain't the Carolina Panthers.
Keeping their coach too. I'm just saying.
Yeah, now they are.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I got 65. You say what? 95?
95.
Okay,
95.
get 5%. There's something in the back of your mind that's telling you, you know what? I mean, it is the NFL. It's a business.
Yeah, it is a
Entertainment
business. Yeah, anything it could happen, but I'm like 95%. He good.
Okay.
All right. So let's go ahead and get this debate on, because Mo has ticked me off already. We talked about week 1, but we jumped off week 1 with the Cowboys Eagles matchup, and Eagles, won that. And Mo's gonna ask me the question about Jalen Hurts, and then he immediately got me triggered. Who's the man? Is Jalen Hurts the greatest Philadelphia Eagles quarterback? And I said, yes, unequivocally. I didn't pause. I didn't stutter. None of that. Yes, he is. Jalen Hurts, you just said it yourself, Mo, in the business of winning championships. And last time I checked, Jalen Hurts just won the championship, right? Philadelphia Eagles and just the city of Philadelphia, they're not in the business of making the playoffs. They're in the business of winning championships.
Yeah,
and if you don't, I'm just saying, I'm not saying that it happens all the time like some other cities, but I'm saying the expectations. There are always high expectations every year for Philadelphia. Philadelphia has earned that right to have those expectations because of guys like Randall Cunningham, because of guys like Ron Jaworski, because of guys like Donovan McNabb, and because of guys like Michael Vick that came in there and caught fire, for that team. But here's the thing. None of them won a Super Bowl. But I may be wrong about Ron Jaworski, but I think Ron Jaworski went to the Super Bowl, and I think they lost to the Raiders. I could be wrong on that one. I don't know that one for sure. But when you look at it, Donovan McNabb, excellent Philadelphia's quarterback. Got them. It is not easy to get to NFC championships. So I'm telling you, I'm not discounting what he did. Randall Cunningham, I'm not discounting what he did. But we are talking about 2 Super Bowl appearances from this guy, another NFC championship appearance, and the dude is a winner. And a lot of people are going to say he outplayed Pat Mahomes and them. If a couple things had went the other way in that first one, they could have won that one as well. So they didn't. But in his young career, they had that, and this is the other thing. What the situation he came into, Donovan McNabb came in as the guy. He got drafted, I think, 5th overall. Randall Cunningham was the guy. They got rid of McNabb to go to Michael Vick. They had Carson Wentz there, who was on his way to winning an MVP, or not winning, competing for an MVP. He was in the running for that before he got hurt. Yes, Nick Foles took them to the Super Bowl, and all that stuff. But Jalen Hurts came in as a 2nd-round quarterback under those circumstances, and they moved on from Carson Wentz, gave him the reins, and he won, is what I'm saying. He won under the pressures, under the expectation. He won, sir. And I got to apologize because I was in here earlier in another year. I forgot what year it was. And I was talking about how it was the right move for them to take Tua at number 5. And I'm wrong for that. I'm sorry. I apologize.
JB, you was on fire until you acknowledged your fatal mistake.
What's that?
No, about campaigning for Tua. That's awful, man. That's awful, because I actually had forgot about that.
Okay, hey.
I forgot about that. That was a terrible, terrible, terrible. But in hindsight,
I'm not perfect.
I mean,
I'm not perfect.
I'm not
perfect.
Listen, I'm going to ruin this segment. I'm going to ruin it because
you've ruined the show. So go ahead.
Okay, well, I apologize to all your viewers and listeners, but listen, I'm going to ruin this segment because I am not prepared to defend my argument. I'm just not. I'm not prepared to defend my argument. So what I'm surprised about is so many people agree with your sentiment that Jalen Hurts is the greatest Eagle of all time. I honestly wasn't expecting that because I know how we are prisoners of nostalgia, right? Okay. Nobody can let the whole Jordan debate go. And I know how much people love Scramble Randall. So I'm like, nah, they're not ready to acknowledge that Jalen Hurts is that guy. They're not ready to do that yet. They're gonna hold on to the Scramble Randall. He was so just captivating to watch, this, that, and the third. And he was good. He's an all-time, I ain't gonna say all-time great. I don't know if I'm ready to call him an all-time great. That's the argument.
Jalen?
No, Randall.
Oh, gotcha.
That's the argument right there. Now he may be the trailblazer for the dual threat quarterback, right? Probably arguably the first time we've seen it. But I gotta agree with you, man. I gotta agree with you. So this ain't so much of a debate as it is just an acknowledgement that, Jalen got the crown. You just wrote that down, didn't you?
No.
You just wrote me conceding, you just wrote that down, right? I know you've been practicing your calligraphy skills all day.
No, I'm used to being right when it comes to talking with you.
Okay, so, all right. You do know I got the tape. I got all the tape. I can go back and I can pull them up.
I was just looking because I was trying to make sure how old Jalen Hurts was. He just turned 27 last month. So, and I'm going to go back a little bit further, even before he got to the league. I think people forget. They remember the Tua pass. Tua wasn't starting. Jalen got them to that national championship game. So Saban made the move, and all that stuff, whatever it worked out, but Jalen got them there. Jalen has had the Eagles relevant year in, year out. Yes, they had, what was that, 2 years ago at this point? They had the off year and everything. But it didn't spiral. It didn't snowball. They rebounded and they won the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah.
And I think, and what I'm going to say this too. I think what also people kind of hold against Jalen, which I think is unfair, is because I said he's a winner. As Mike Singletary says, I want winners.
Right.
So there's one thing in someone lighting up the scoreboard and all that stuff. It's a bunch of dudes that light up the scoreboard and then ain't won nothing.
Right.
So Jalen is a winner. And I talked about this real quick. with the Super Bowl. Because people were talking about, oh, Jalen, Saquon been doing this, Saquon been doing that, and all this stuff. Bro, you know how selfish it would have been if Jalen had last year, if he had been like, nah, I got to get these passing yards up. I got to do this. I got to do that. When you got Saquon running for over 2,000 yards, you don't interfere with that.
Yeah.
You just roll with it. And you know who understands that? Winners.
Yep.
And when the Super Bowl came, I told everybody he got weapons. They're going to focus on Saquon, and then he's going to throw the ball. And that's exactly what he did. He threw the ball. He was an MVP. And it was like people were shocked. It was like, oh my God, Jalen Hurts threw it. No, he always could do that. There just wasn't a need. He's a winner. He's not worried about that. He don't have to go out there and be Peyton Manning and put up 300 yards every game to be effective. He's a winner.
Yeah, and that's what he do. I mean, he does the things that's needed of him. Like this past game, I don't even think Saquon didn't even lead the team in rushing. I think it was Jalen Hurts that actually led the team in rushing. I mean, he did what was necessary for that win. But the narrative that he's not elite, I hate that. And that's what you've been hearing this entire offseason. Jalen Hurts, he's good. He's a game manager. He's not an elite quarterback. And the names that they named above him, I mean, it was ridiculous to me. But listen, he got this entire year to change people's minds, to change the perspective about him. And I think he'll do it. I mean, he been quiet. He just been sitting back like, okay, y'all don't believe me? All right, cool.
But that's why I get triggered, because you still got these folks that's saying, oh, he can prove it this year. I'm sorry. How many guys have been to the Super Bowl twice? How many guys had 3 opportunities to get to? Like, people just forget that. They just want to look at, oh, you won a Super Bowl. Oh, you've been a Pro Bowler 15 million times or whatever. Like, there's different ways of being elite. And here's my thing. Here, and this is what I'm gonna say. You take Jalen Hurts off of the Eagles, you really think people gonna have them as Super Bowl favorites?
Yep.
Come on now.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's
so
it.
that should just tell you right there. Because if you could just get anybody, then they'll go draft somebody else in the second, third round or whatever, and just say, all right, we'll just plug and play. Nah.
That's it.
That dude is the key cog to that team. And this is me talking about him like you would think I'm an Eagles fan the way I'm talking about.
I'm like, okay, I mean, you need to turn that light off in the back.
Nah, this is still Detroit all day, but I'm just saying, I hate when season. Yeah, I just hate when people, because they've been doing it to him ever since college too. And it's just like, all the dude do is he go out there, play his game, and he wins.
Yeah. But the difference is, you just said it, he was in college, and he still has a chip on his shoulder.
Yes,
and I've never seen someone handle a chip that size so quietly and just humbly. Yes. And he'll let you know when it's time for his Hall of Fame speech. He gonna let it all out.
Yeah, because Jalen really is an unk in a 27-year-old body.
He is.
That's what he is.
Have some little subtle jabs for that Hall of Fame speech, but
yeah,
long career to go. He just turned 27? You say?
Just turned 27.
Yeah.
I could see Jalen turn. Well, you probably already has coming to a game dressed like Spice Adams. Now I'm talking about kicking the feet out the Cadillac with the Gators on. That dude. Yeah. There's a few guys, that I just like, to watch them play and everything. And Jalen Hurts is one of those dudes, man. It's just like him, like Mike Evans. Like, that's another guy I get triggered about, because a lot of people don't talk about Mike Evans and everything. So yeah.
And Brock Purdy, go ahead and throw Brock Purdy in there.
So we're gonna wrap the show.
About, 2-time Super Bowl appearances.
We're gonna wrap this up.
Okay, the disrespect. Let me get out your way.
I like Brock. I don't want 49ers fans coming after me, because I'm glad Brock got his money too. And hey, he got the dub yesterday as well. So, but that is week 1. I'm sure there'll be more to talk about. It's a long NFL season. My Alliance, we gotta do something. But I digress. Everyone, make sure like, subscribe, make sure your notifications is on and all that stuff. That's what we like. Comment and everything. If I'm outrageous or if Mo is outrageous, put it in the comment section. But I'm gonna get out of here, man. We'll holler at y'all. Enjoy the rest of what's left in week 1, and we'll be back for week 2 to talk about more and more and more. So for your man Jelani, JB, Bodie, and Mo in the background running everything, we're gonna holler at y'all later. 2 things as always: stay positive and push forward. Peace.